Steve Alford and student athletes Norman Powell and Tony Parker. Coach, we'd like to ask you to make an opening statement, and then we will take questions for the student athletes only.
Well, really proud of our team. We've come a long way, and obviously this is a tremendous basketball team that we played with a lot of seniors, a lot of upperclassmen that are really poised for a great run, and we wish them the best of luck. I think Mark and his staff do a tremendous job, and wish them all the best. And we did a lot of good things. You know, both teams struggled making some shots. Both teams had a low turnover game. You're playing in a Sweet 16 game, and we have 7 turnovers, they have 5. You know, so I think you had a lot of student athletes out there working hard, playing the game the way it's supposed to be played, very smart. We just got beat up on the glass, and that doesn't happen to us very often, but thought the difference, we gave up 18 offensive rebounds, and that enabled them to get to the free throw line where we didn't. So the board play and the free throw line ended up being pretty much the difference of the game. So very proud of both of these guys. They've been tremendous for us all season long, and obviously with Tony, a really good year to build on going into his senior year. We couldn't be more thrilled with that. And then what Norman's been able to do throughout his career. He represents UCLA the way UCLA's represented. It's all about excellence, and Norman is about excellence. He's gotten better every year, and then this year we asked him to go into a different role that he's never played, and that's be a go-to guy. And he was that for us tonight. He was that for us all year long. He's going to get his degree here at the end of the quarter. So we couldn't be more pleased with what he was able to do throughout his career. And I know from a coaching standpoint, I really enjoyed coaching him.
Okay, questions for the student athletes? We go on the far left here, in the rear.
Adam Spillane, Sports Radio 610 in Houston. Norman, you guys were able to get to within a point, and then they hit you with that run. What were they able to do?
They were able to work the ball around and get good shots. You know, a team like that, when they have 3 senior guards, they're experienced. You know, they're not going to get rattled when we went on that 6-0 run. You know, they really attacked us in transition and was able to swing the ball around, get open shots, and they were making open shots, and they fed the ball into the post, and they were making shots in the post.
Okay, next question. Again, questions for the student athletes. Here we go, on the aisle, 4th row.
Chrissy Reekin from the Associated Press. How difficult was it when they kept feeding the ball inside to their big guys for y'all?
It was tough, you know, but I think the coach did a great job in trying to have us double team them. You know, we made big guy Karnowski make passes, you know, and try to make it difficult on him, but they were able to get through our trap and get to the bucket.
Okay, 5th row on the left.
Nick Matthews, Houston Chronicle. This place has a history, anyway, of poor shooting performances from teams. Can you guys talk a little bit about the atmosphere shooting here at this gym?
Tony, why don't you start with that? Then we'll go to Norman.
It really didn't affect you once you got in between the lines. It was just concentrating, making shots, and the ball didn't bounce our way tonight, and they beat us up on the glass and at the free throw line, and that decided the game.
Norman, go ahead.
Yeah, I thought we did a great job of being able to get shots up before the game, and you know, when you're in the middle of play, you know, you're not thinking about playing in a dome or that perception when you're shooting. You know, you're trying to make shots, concentrate, and focus. So it was a tough night for us, but I don't think it really affected us. We were just shooting the ball the way we normally shoot it.
Okay, in the back.
Jacob Thorpe, Spokesman Review. Tony, you spent time on both Karnowski and Sabonis, obviously very different players. Do they complement each other, and what was it like having to kind of switch back and forth between those 2 different players?
They're very different players, but they play well, and they play well together. You can tell that Karnowski has been, you know, coaching up Sabonis a lot because he's always in the right spots when he gets double, and he's always looking for the ball. And they just play well off each other. Him, Kyle, and Sabonis, they really play well together as bigs.
Okay. Far right, 2nd row.
Leah Frazier-Dixon, Bring the Pain Sports here in Houston, Texas. This question is for Tony Parker. This wasn't a particularly pretty game for either team this evening. And my question is, when did you feel that this might be a pretty long night for you guys?
We just wasn't hitting shots that we usually hit all the time. We just had a tough shooting night. When we have a tough shooting night, we got locked down on defense. and we kept giving up second shots, and we couldn't get to the line. Usually our guards get to the line, and then they get going, and they just couldn't get to the line tonight, and that really hurt us as a team. Nobody could get to the line.
Anything else for the student athletes? Okay, gentlemen, Norman, Tony, you can go. We'll take questions for Coach Alford now. Thank you, gentlemen. Questions for Coach Alford? Here we go. On the left.
Christy Reekin from the Associated Press. Can you talk about the beginning of the second half, whenever y'all got it to 1, and kind of what happened after that, what went wrong for y'all?
Well, obviously they're really good, and we had a great run, a 6-0 run to come out of halftime, which, you know, our guys they've done a really good job of doing things like that all year. So appreciated that, and that was a 2-minute game. We won 6-0, and then they called timeout, and the next 2-minute game was 8-0 them. You know, and that's what really good teams do. They can withstand a run and respond, and I think you saw Gonzaga do that. They got pushed back, and then they were able to push back on us, and that's what really good teams do.
Go ahead.
Nick Matthews, Houston Chronicle. Coach, why are you so impressed with Coach Few and what he's been able to do with Gonzaga and the program over the years, and to finally get through to where they're getting to the Elite Eight again for the first time since 1999?
I mean, why? I mean, he's wins like 82% of his games. I mean, you're in college basketball and you're winning 82% of your games. You're doing a pretty good job. So I mean, he's win the league, they win the tournament just about every year. They play a national schedule now. They play a very demanding schedule and not afraid to play people. They've gone into a home and home with us, among other teams across the country. So I mean, you just look at the consistency of what Gonzaga's had over. I have no idea how many years, but it's been a good length of time where every year they're winning. And you know, advancing in this tournament's hard. I mean, you're playing on neutral floors. You're playing in buildings like this, where it's huge. It's a dome. It's very few of these student athletes have played in a building like this. So all of a sudden, you got jump shots that are hitting the backboard first. I mean, it's different. You know, they've been a very good shooting team. We've had some very good shooting nights, and you got both teams that are almost identical. We're 26 for 67. They're 27 for 67. We make 3 threes. They make 3 threes. I mean, it's very, very similar. The difference was board play, and one team got to the free throw line, and I think that was the difference in this game.
Rear on the left.
Coach, Alex Silbario, Sports Radio 610. Did you anticipate, because of the history of this gym, the shooting problems that teams have had in here, that this would be an issue tonight?
No, I didn't. I don't think you think about that. I think my concerns were you almost got to pick your poison with them. You take away their low post, and they make threes on you. You know, we were able to do a pretty good job of handling the perimeter. They took 19 threes and made 3. That might be a season low for them on makes and percentage. I don't know that for a fact, but it had to be one of their season lows. So we were able to take some of that away, but what I thought we didn't do, we didn't rebound the basketball. They got too many second shots, and that led to either fouls, getting to the free throw line, or it ended up being to easy buckets inside. And, you know, I thought Tony and Tom in particular really battled. I liked what Gigi and I thought Gigi and Kavan really battled Wilcher. You know, I thought we did a much better job on him in this game than we did at home in Pauley. It's Sabonis and Karnowski. They're a load. They just got so many weapons that you're not going to shut all of them down, and those two got away from us a little bit there in the second half.
Center of the room.
Brent Zwarneman, Houston Chronicle. You mentioned how hard it is to advance in this tournament. Just on your guys winning the first 2, you know, going into the tournament with a 20-13 record.
I couldn't be more pleased, and I just told them that in the locker room. From where they've come from in November and December, we played a brutally tough non-conference schedule with a very young, inexperienced team, and that. And I give our coaching staff, my assistants, did a tremendous job of, one, keeping the guys together, and then the players did a tremendous job of believing in each other and trusting one another, that they didn't hang their heads when we had a tough December playing incredible competition. We weren't ready for that competition, to be honest with you, with this team. But that helped them as they grew and matured. They didn't stop believing. They didn't stop fighting. And they deserved everything that they got. And then when they got in the tournament, they made the most of it. And to get back to the Sweet 16 with a lot of guys playing a lot of different roles, you know, obviously we're disappointed. We want to keep playing. But I couldn't be more pleased with this group. This group has been a blast to coach.
Center of the room in the rear.
Jerome Solomon from the Houston Chronicle. Coach, obviously you said you can't anticipate a poor shooting night, but once it got going and now that it's over, any doubt in your mind that the background, the situation kind of got the best of you guys or both teams, and then it led to missing some easier shots too?
Yeah, that's hard. That's a hard one for me because I don't want that to be an excuse because both teams had to play in that environment. They handled it a little bit better, not particularly from a shooting standpoint, but they were able to rebound more of their misses than we rebounded our misses. And I really think the stats are eerie close. It's the one glaring difference is free throws made and offensive reward play. So they got field goal attempts were about the same. So what happened was they got 6 more possessions in offensive rebounds. And I would venture to say, without looking at tape yet, they converted on a lot of those. And I thought that was the difference. That's what we couldn't overcome.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.